Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Plasma, and I like symmetry. Today's build is an elevator that was asked for in the comments. If you didn't know, I enjoy tackling suggestions. So, on the 6x6 elevator video, Slocus392 asked about doing a 6x10 elevator. Well, I worked on it and came up with a design, and that's what we're going to show off today. This one will be useful if you need a bigger rectangle. I also did a 3x5 if you want a smaller one. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss out on all the upcoming inventions and redstone masterclasses. So let's get started. So down below you can see what you're going to need to build this. So let's dissect it. You're going to start with a piston elevator, and on top of that you're going to put this shoulder. So this is going to slide right back here behind here. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. It's going to fit here behind this, and we're going to have these facing forward. This actually makes it much simpler to build on the bottom when we trigger it. So then on top of each of these pistons, you're going to set these two wings. And these wings are one of my favorite components. You've probably heard me talk about them. I love the ability to move 6 blocks with just 2 observers and chain these together. And so they're very simple to build. They're very cheap for how much you can move. You don't have to have a massive row of observers in slime. It's just these 4 slime blocks and then 2 observers facing downward like that, and then these 6. And so then on top of each of them, you're going to put 2 blocks out. So you're going to go 2 blocks out like this, 2 blocks out like this, except for on the front, because we're only doing a 10x6. You're going to have the ones on the front go to the side. But the same is not true over here. On the back, they can go ahead and go for it all the way out. And so they're going to stick out in each direction. And it's going to look like this when you're done. You're going to have them sticking out in every direction, except for you're going to have one on the side. What this allows is for it to be a little bit more compact. Instead of it going up vertically, I designed this one so that it's cheaper on resources and easier to build. These are going to be moving 5 blocks for every single component. And so with 7 and 5, that's 12 blocks total. And so that'll mean we only have to grab it on 1 block to stop it. You really want them to add up to 12. If it adds up to 13, it'll get stuck. If it adds up to less than that, then it'll be harder to stop at the top. And so this is the easiest way to do it. So I call this the 4T system. And so what you'll do is over top of these, you will place, so over top of the slime, after you place this slime right here up above, what you're going to do is you're going to do a T like this. And so you're going to do that, and you're going to do a T, and it's going to face the opposite way on this side. And if you do those 4 T's with alternating colors, so if this one's yellow, this one needs to be green. If that one's yellow, that needs to be green. So slime and honey. Then you just fill in the rest with 5 and 5. So you don't even have to think much about this design. Just know that you need to put 5 blocks to nest around each of the T's. And so you'll make this little 5x3 square for each of the T's. It's a very simple way to think about it. So let's go ahead and build it. So what you're going to do is you are going to start off with your piston elevator. We're going to place our observers facing this way, as we always do. Make sure when you place your pistons, they face away from the observer. People have problems with that. So if I were to do, what I mean by that is if you did it this way, it wouldn't work. Why? Because they're facing towards the observer. So let's try, kick it off, and you'll see some yuckiness. See that? It's because the observer is powering pistons. You don't want to do that. So what you want to do is you want to have your... Just want to show you guys that it's very easy to get weird errors, and I heard a rumor that someone was having a problem with that. Make sure these are facing away from their respective observers. So now let's put on the back shoulders, and that's going to be as simple as putting these on here. We're going to put these facing forward, and we're going to put a slime block, or sorry, sticky piston on either side. And so now we can build the wings, and that's all there is to it. And so you'll put observers facing downward, and this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So that'll get our 6x10. So let's go ahead and put the sides on. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to alternate colors in each row like this. And so we're going to come over here. We're going to go These ones will be green. This one will be yellow. Honey or slime. But once you get enough of each, you kind of just start thinking of them as green and yellow. And so that's what you do. We're going to place those T's on top. Oop. T like this. And a T like this. And then you'll put a T right here. I can't aim today. There we go. And then a T right here. And now we just fill it in. And these are designed so that they're going to hold those up. You don't even have to think about where you're placing blocks after this point. Everything will fit together just right. Ah, there we go. So that's it. That's all you need to do to build it. So now I'm going to cut and show you in the hotbar what to do with the bottom and then the top. So let's start on the bottom now. Okay, so you don't actually need much to do the bottom. You really just need 6 repeaters. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and show you the bottom and top together. They're very simple. So this is the bottom, and then what you need for the top is going to be 17 repeaters, and then 12 torches, an observer, and some 13 sticky pistons. I don't ever count out how many you need of blocks or how much you need of redstone dust, because you just need a lot. You need to get used to when you're building redstone, even in survival, just have enough redstone dust on hand. I don't ever explain why I do that, but that's why, because it doesn't matter. You should have enough. So as a reminder, you never want to put the blocks on the top until you're done. And the reason for that is because if one pushes up, and then, let's do it right now. Now it's stuck, and it can't pull down because they're not on the same height. So you don't ever want to put the top on until you're done, and they're all going to go at the same time. Okay? Okay. Maybe this is a review for some of you who've seen some of my other elevator videos. So what you're going to do is you're going to make redstone dust. And we're going to hit the top tier first. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's making it go up and down. So if we place the redstone dust in that order, the block underneath changes once. And now it's all down where it's supposed to be. So next thing I'm going to do is I am going to break this up. We needed to wait 3 ticks on this one, but in order to not change this or have it go weird, I'm going to break this up. You don't actually have to do this. You could also just put a dust here and then use 1 repeater. Let's go ahead and do that on one side. I'll show you that it doesn't matter. But I am going to, on this side, do 1, 2, 3. That's 1 tick and then 2 ticks. So we need a 3-tick delay on these. It's got to be a 3-tick delay between each tier. On some of my videos, I talked about 1, 4, and 7 tick delays. Essentially 0, 3, and 6, or 1, 4, and 7. You just need to wait 3 ticks before you do the next one. So in this one, I'm actually going to do this. And so now I can just do that. So something you need to know about these repeaters is that the observer doesn't detect them. They don't change for the whole time. So the time that this would output is the time that the observer will notice it. So that's something you can use in your redstone builds. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these like so. We don't want to put anything in front of this one, or we don't need to. We might have some problems if we tried to. So we're just going to connect this up. And that's all there is to it. And now we need to put 6 ticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one. So that's all. That's it. Very simple. You can do it this way, or you can do it this way. Your choice. With practice, you should be able to learn why you're doing things. It's better to know why you're doing things rather than just copy, because that is the harder way of doing it, and it's more educational. And you'll be able to tweak it, and if it breaks, you'll be able to fix it on your own. You know what's going on. It does take some practice. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to block this off, and we're going to move it up to the top. And now let's go look at the top on the other one. We're going to show that this one works. See that? Isn't that neat? And so now, when that stops up there, I'm going to go ahead and move this one up. This is my first build, just to get a proof of concept. And so this is what the top's going to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to put pistons so that they're holding a 1 block on right here and right here on each of the 4 corners, and then the 2 in the dead center. And so that'll hold 1 block up against each of the slime and honey block sections. And because there's so many tiers, because the delay from the time we hit the button to go down to the time that we actually want to trigger this, we do an 8-tick delay on those. with this 4 and this 4, and then we just lead it into the trigger over here. And so they need to wait before pulling off, because this is going to come down, and after 3 ticks, this is going to come down, and after 3 ticks, this is going to go. So it's going to take you almost like 9 ticks before you actually are ready, and you don't want it to be off on timing. And so let's go ahead and build a top. So what we're going to do now that we've stopped it up here, notice that anytime you run it across all of them, like across the middle, that'll be enough to stop it with obsidian. You don't have to cover the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to place blocks on top of it here, here, here. And so these are going to be the 13th block that stops each of these sections. Oh, right here, right here. And so we're going to put some pistons on those to pull them right here and right here. And so I'm going to put one here and here. We're going to come over here, blop, blop, break those. So there. So now we got those. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Bup, bup, bup. These two. Nope, nope. This one, this one. Nope, nope. This one, this one. Okay. So now, there's a trick to this one that you're going to have to do this one different. Or I recommend you do it different. And the reason is because we are going to need to have something right up against this. So if I were to put a piston right here that has a block that it's going to push up against it, so like this. I did it with a sea lantern over here because you can hide it inside your terracotta, your walls of your elevator. So I have a block here. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to just use a solid block here. So in order to do this, we can't have this redstone right here interfering. So in order to prevent this redstone from messing it up, this would be a problem because it's going to power through and it would power this block, and because pistons think they're a block higher than they are, it would power it. And we would not be in a happy place. So I do this for this one. And if you've seen my other videos, I'm going to do what I usually do for all the other ones, which is here and here, and then here and here. And we're going to go out like this. I'm going to lead it over. Oh, don't mess with your ticks. And then over like that. So we are going to go here and here and here and here. And some redstone dust across. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You don't have to do that on any of these. You can run it. Actually, it's faster if you were to come over here, because then you don't have to break a bunch of blocks. We are going to connect all of these. So what we'll do is we'll go up, 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 up. Now we can just do that. All right. So now let's go and wire it up. So to wire it up, what we want to do, decide where you want to put your button. You could do it on either side, but on the edge, fairly close to this, you want to do some repeaters. You want to come out at least one block because you don't want to be able to touch this. You don't want to touch this as it comes down. So make sure you come out at least, I guess, 2 blocks if you're lined up with it. So I'm going to do 4 ticks here and 4 ticks here. Do the same thing on the other side. I think that's it for our elevator. We're done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, oh, maybe we have to wire it up to the other piece, to the piston. Yeah. So what I do is I do an observer. This is one of the ways I prefer to do it. It's just a matter of getting the timings right. So there's a lot of different ways you could do it, but this one is just my preferred way. And so I'm just going to lead it out of here like that. That's it. So let's test it. Did I put this on 4 ticks? Yes. It's always good to check your ticks on your repeaters if you're unsure. And so now, when I let go of this, it should go down. Actually, no. I forgot to put my torches on here. Attention to detail matters. So what we're going to do, these are going to pull out a bit later, so it's going to start to go. That didn't work. I wonder why. Get out of my way. So, there. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And so, what's the problem here? Well, we dragged those along. And why did we drag those along? Well, it's because we did not put anything on top. And that's okay. So let's go do that real quick. It's a hint to me that there might be something else wrong with it. So now, up here, you should see that these come in when we push the button. Oh, you know what? I didn't put redstone dust here or here. Wow, I put it over there. Where is it missing over here? Right there. This is a bad material. What is this? This is smooth basalt. I've never used it before, but it hides the redstone dust in my eyes. So we didn't let go of any of the 6. So that should work just fine. All right. Attention to detail, guys. So now, you should have an elevator that stops. It's going to stop 1 block above because it stops on the slime blocks. And now, let's show, you can put any block you want on top. We'll do diorite. Some people love diorite. Some people hate diorite. I have it on good authority that some of the hermitcrafters do not like it. So we're going to put it right here like this. And now, that's your floor. So this is it. And so what we can do is you can bring your button up here. So if I wanted to put a button like right here, I could do that. I can put some redstone dust here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And I've said this before, but what you want to do whenever you're connecting up redstone components over a long distance like this, you never want to test it, or you never want to risk having problems. And so rather than playing games with it and trying to count, just hook them up with a repeater. 1 tick pulse of whatever's going on over here should not affect what's going on over there. So here is your 6x10 elevator. That's all we got for today. Subscribe if you haven't. Hope that helped you, Slocus392. This is the 6x10. Sorry it took me for a few more days than I wanted it to. It's been a busy weekend. But that is it. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Dr. Plasma is evolving. Dun, 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 dun.